course, the chairman of the NFL Former Players Union nationwide, Mike McBath.
All right, Chris, great to be here. I think we're going to discuss a little bit about, which I'm excited about, the opening this Friday of the James Bond film Spectre.
Yeah, you got some ideas going there. I can see them working around inside your head there. We're also up on YouTube, and General Lucas Paris is here to tell you how you can take advantage of that. General Paris, please, sir.
Well, you're going to go to YouTube, and you're going to type in Adversaries TV, one word. You'll see our channel. Click on it. Newest videos are at the top, and as you go down, Pariscope depth, you will find all of our older videos.
All right, that's General Paris. All right, so please take advantage of that. And by the way, you can also hear our shows at our archive on our website, which is AmericanAdversariesRadio.com, which is also, of course, where you can join the American Adversaries Army. You can even be a general like General Lucas Paris over here. So in that case, I would have to salute you like I have to salute General Paris now every day. So once again, we'd love to have you be a part of the American Adversaries Army. Before we get going, I gotta ask you a question. Did you see that Miami Hurricanes Duke game, that play at the end of it the other day?
Yes, I did, and I think you probably saw that they took and they virtually sent the refs home, in the sense that they're not allowed to ref, I think, for either the next couple games or the rest of the year. I mean, there were so many fouls that took place on that last play that resulted in Miami winning the game.
Yeah, but wasn't it at the end of the day not the referees on the field, but the guys in the booth or whoever did reviews?
You know, in suspending these refs, they obviously, and they suspended all of them. You know, so yeah. I'm sure there's blame all around, because when you saw that and actually looked at the film, you saw some blocking in the back. There was other infractions besides the fellow falling to his knee.
Yeah, it looked like he was down before
I
he
would have thought
that
before they would have called it a touchdown, they would have spent a lot of time, because when you pass the ball back and forth 8 times, something's going wrong. You know, there's either going to be a clip, there's going to be holding, there's going to be something. Yeah. And the real problem is, for the Duke fans, you just dropped from an extremely high-level bowl game, and you probably lost a couple $1 million because of what? One call. And even in the
one play.
Yeah, 1K. One play and one call. But I mean, I even looked at the Tampa Bay game the other day, in the Bucks. That pass interference, and close to them. When I say close to the end, I think it was in the last 15 seconds. That's a devastating call, and I didn't think the call was any good. And it changed the whole complexion of the game.
Sure.
And so these refs are paid very, very well. But that was a good point you brought up, Chris, is, guys, you had a lot of guys on the field. You had the guys in the booth. There should be absolutely no mistake. There's millions of dollars on this game, besides the bookies, who I'm sure they're not very happy.
Yeah.
So
some of those
not
guys,
good.
We'll have to see if some of those fellas show up with broken legs.
Yeah, Louis out there waiting for you, buddy.
Or maybe the fix was in. Maybe that's what was happening. Maybe we're reading this all wrong. Maybe the bookies were, at the end of the day, very, very happy.
Well, yeah.
But by the way, that wasn't the record of number of laterals. It's actually 15.
Wasn't that the one with the band? Remember that one with the band?
That was a famous play, but that wasn't the one with the 15 laterals.
I don't even know how you could do that without infractions, but back then I'm not sure they had anybody with television following the whole thing or anything else, no one to review it.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, when they think about it, I understand suspending the whole crew, because you cost, sorry Duke, you're minus a few $1 million on this deal.
Well, once again, though, it is proven that with college football and even professional football, of course, last night, the overtime victory, that
the human element.
You got to stick around to the very end. It ain't over till it's over, right? So.
Well, Yogi still lives. I mean, isn't that a great quote?
In spirit, he does.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over. Does he ever? Did you see the Michigan? Okay, here's Big Michigan playing Minnesota, right? Now watch this. Minnesota's down on the 2-yard line. There's 2 plays left in the game. First time they run the ball, they don't get a yard. They're only 2 yards away. Now it's 4th down. Minnesota can tie the game for sure. It's like 29-26. Just sit back, kick your field goal, and then go into overtime. Minnesota says, no, we're going to go for it. They didn't make it.
Right.
End the game.
Yeah.
Now,
well, that's a coaching decision there.
I know that's not the refs.
Yeah.
That was just, which
But
I don't know if that's a bad decision because it's still 50-50 when you get into overtime. So I think, that's all right.
Yeah. There was a saying, I think, in basketball that if you're away, you play for the win. If you're home, you play for a tie in a situation like that. I don't know if they do that in football, but anyway, of course, in politics, you got to play for the win. You can't play for the tie. But there's some new polls out, and Donald Trump and Ben Carson are in a neck-and-neck race. We got a whole slew of them out. Mostly, they're good news for Donald Trump. At least on the surface of it. And there are some polls that show Ben Carson in the lead, and there are a number of them that show them really in a dead heat. So we'll go through some of those numbers with you here real quick. I don't know if any of you happened to see Ben Carson yesterday. He was in the Villages. He was supposed to be down at the Books A Million in Kissimmee. If there are any of you out there who happened to catch him at one or the other of those events, and would like to call and tell us about it, certainly we'd love to hear about it. Evidently at the Villages you had like 3,000 people who showed up to get his book, and it's many of these really it's kind of now part of being a candidate that you have to have a book. Yeah. Right, and maybe about your life. Some of them are more autobiographical, or
right.
autobiographical. You know what I'm saying?
Autobiographical.
Autobiographical. Thank you very, very much. And
that's what I'm here for.
That's what you got. Right. But then the others are more, this is my plan type thing. But everybody's got to have a book. But he's got a book out. Actually, there's a couple of books out by him. But his latest book is out, and he's doing the tour. And it's a clever, I believe, also campaign mechanism.
No, it's a nice way to draw a crowd,
yeah.
And also get paid while you draw the crowd.
Yeah.
And as you know, the Villages is really a stronghold for the Republican Party.
Absolutely.
And what I'm always amused at, every time there's a major election, those people are right on the highway there with signs. I mean, it's great. I love to see. And you know what? Once they get their Obamacare bill, they're going to be there with billboards instead of signs. I can tell you this, which we'll get in a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that a little bit later. We'll be talking also about what Barack Obama wants to be remembered. One of the things he'd like to be remembered for.
Oh, I can give him a whole list of things he'll be remembered for.
Yeah, exactly that.
I don't think being remembered is going to be a problem for him. It's about trying to forget him.
Yeah, absolutely. The Keystone Pipeline's been put on hold, and a United States Department of Defense surveillance satellite using infrared cameras picked up a heat flash the other day when that airplane went down. So it looks more and more like there wasn't an explosion. What caused it is now to be determined, but there was definitely an explosion in midair. But to get back to the new poll numbers, the worst news for Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush is they're both losing big to Donald Trump in Florida.
That's a tough pill to swallow, too, and particularly
it's got to be for those
I know,
guys.
With all the money that Bush has invested here in the state of Florida, all the time he worked here as governor.
This is their home state.
And that's right. I mean, is that embarrassing? But then the other side of it, Donald Trump is a movie star image, but Donald Trump also has built absolutely fabulous complexes down here, hired many, many thousands of people, and I'm not surprised.
Well, and part of the problem each one of them has is, of course, the other. Right? They're both Florida boys, and they're both of them playing for the Florida vote. So they're pretty much splitting, I believe, the Florida vote that would go to one or the other of them were one or the other of them not in the race. For instance, let's say Jeb gets out, which, by the way, Donald Trump called for him today to do, which I don't think is the smart thing for Trump right now. For Trump right now, the more the merrier, especially when it comes to Rubio and Jeb, because they are splitting the Florida vote. So in a Florida Viewpoint poll, let's take, for instance, Trump leads with 27%. Then you have Rubio second at 16, Carson third at 15, both tied, that's neck and neck. Mm-hmm. Then you have Cruz at 12 and Jeb at 12. Let's say Jeb drops off. And that vote is most likely ain't going to go to Cruz, right? Most likely not going to go to Ben Carson. Most likely going to go to Rubio. I'd say at least 10 out of that 12 is going to go to Rubio. But let's just say all of it goes to Rubio. He jumps up to 28%. Now he's in a dead heat with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Let's look at a Florida News 13 poll. You've got Trump, this one's more devastating for the hometown boys. Trump at 37%. Then you drop down to 17 for Carson, 16 for Rubio, and you go down in the single digits for Jeb. So in that poll, even if Jeb were to drop out and all those votes go to Rubio, he would jump into second place,
right.
Still about 12 points, though, behind Trump. But nonetheless, it would vault him clearly into second place and make him clearly the establishment candidate. And of course the reverse is true too. If for some reason Rubio goes into a nosedive and Jeb's able to hang around, then I believe the opposite is true as well. Except that I believe with Rubio, I believe some of his voters might actually go to Ted Cruz.
Is this a winner-take-all state, or is
this
it in
is
proportion? Winner takes all.
This is.
I'd say Trump's in good shape.
That's why I